Hey everybody, this is Tia from YTS Teens in the Driver's Seat. Did you know that car crashes were the number one cause of death among youth? Well, if you didn't, we're going to learn about this and more in this segment of the Top Teen Driver Risk series entitled Teens and Seatbelt Use. Also, did you know that men are less likely to buckle up than women? Hmm. Well, like I said, we're going to learn about this and more in this presentation coming up. So stay tuned and get ready to learn some more about teens and driving. Again, this is a presentation by the YTS Youth Transportation Safety Program, Teens in the Driver's Seat. The problem. So what's the problem? Well, teen drivers have the highest incidence of unbuckled fatalities, and this is data in Texas. Compared with other age groups, teens have the lowest rates of seatbelt use. So in 2015, only 61% of teens, high school students actually, reported always wearing their seatbelt. In 2015, 293 teen drivers and passengers died. Of those fatalities, 115 were not wearing their seatbelt. So that's a huge percentage of teens, passengers, and drivers not wearing their seatbelts. That's pretty close to half. Also, some more data about teens and seatbelt use. This is national data. 2 out of 4 teens involved in fatal crashes were not wearing a seatbelt. Teens wear their seatbelts less than other drivers, so less than other age groups. And teen passengers wear their seatbelts less often than other age group passengers. So this is interesting information to note. So you're looking at this and you're wondering, well, what does this mean to me? Why should I wear my seatbelt? Of course, the number one thing is it saves lives. It can save your life. So in 2017 alone, seatbelts saved an estimated almost 15,000 lives and could have saved an estimated additional more than 2,500 people if they had been wearing their seatbelts. So again, another reason you should wear your seatbelt is to be a good example for others. It can save their lives. So when teens aren't wearing their seatbelts, 90% of their young passengers, so passengers ages 13 through 19, who die in crashes also aren't wearing their seatbelts. So 90% is a very large number. That's almost 100%. So meaning if you as a driver are not wearing your seatbelt, the chances are if you are involved in a fatal crash for your passengers to not be wearing their seatbelt, they're more likely to be fatally injured. So you should wear your seatbelt to be a good example as well. So other reasons to wear your seatbelt. Of course, a seatbelt is your best and last protection if you are in a car crash. So, when we go out on the road every day, we have no idea, who's behind the road. We can't control their behaviors, but seatbelts will always protect you more than if you don't wear a seatbelt in the event you were to come across someone who is driving not favorably to you. So also during a crash, being buckled up helps keep you safe and secure inside your vehicle. So sometimes people say, I'd rather not wear my seatbelt because just in case if I get in a crash, I want to be out of the vehicle. But being thrown out is almost always deadly when you're in a car crash. So you don't want to be thrown out of the car in a car crash. You want to stay securely inside the car. And lastly, airbags are designed to work with seatbelts, not replace them. So in fact, if you don't wear your seatbelt, you could be thrown into an opening airbag and be injured or killed even further or injured even further. So this is one of the reasons why they recommend that children under 12 sit in the back seat because airbags open up at an extremely high rate of speed, and they can injure or kill small children or smaller children that are sitting in the front seat because the airbags are usually in the front seat. So they're designed to work with seatbelts, not replace them. So we just want to talk about some of the ways that the seatbelt prevent injuries. We talked about the what, now it's the how. How do they prevent injuries? So number one, of course, they keep people in the vehicle. Number two, seatbelt contacts the strongest part of your body, which are the shoulders and the hips. So I'm going to show a little diagram later to show you exactly what, how that happens. But in order for the seatbelt to do the most good, it has to be not injuring any other parts of your body, right? So the seatbelt comes in contact with your shoulders and with your hips, which have strong bones there, so that they're able to protect the other parts of your body. The seatbelt spreads forces over a wide area of the body. So this may sound a little confusing, but basically what this means is, so if I'm to hold my hand up here, and if I push my hand with my finger, then, you know, right there where I'm pushing my hand with my finger, I feel a little pain, a little pinch. I mean, it's not super painful, but I feel it right there. But if I was to put my palm of this hand and push it on my hand, instead of feeling a lot of pain in one little area, I feel the pain spread out over a wider area. So that's what that means when it says it spread forces over a wider area of the body. It helps to minimize your risk to other parts of your body. Also, seatbelts help the body to slow crash forces. So if you are in a car crash and you have on your seatbelt, which I hope you do, the forces that are coming against your body from the crash, so like the other vehicle or things in your vehicle, parts of your vehicle coming against your body, the seatbelt helps to spread those forces out so you won't be injured. So you'll be less likely to be injured if you're wearing your seatbelt. And of course, it protects your head, neck, and spinal cord. So again, like I was mentioning, the placement of the seatbelt. So you want to make sure that when you put your seatbelt on, you're placing it in the right area, because improper placement is just, or can be just as bad as not having it on. And so in this diagram, you can kind of see why. So the seatbelt is supposed to go over your hips. The lap belt is supposed to go over your hips and touching your thighs. It's not supposed to go over your abdomen, over your stomach, under your breast. It's supposed to be down low so that, again, it can be in contact with your hips, one of the strongest parts of your body. And this is because you can have spinal fracture or some kind of spinal injury caused by an improper placed seatbelt if it's up too high. And so also, along with the lap belt, the shoulder belt, the seatbelt the part that goes over your chest, should go right over the middle of your chest, and it should touch your shoulders, not your neck, your shoulders. So a few other things about wearing a seatbelt properly. Again, it has to be worn correctly to be effective. Across the center of the chest, away from your neck, across your hips, and below your stomach. Get into the habit of always putting on your seatbelt every time you get into a vehicle. So no matter where you're sitting, if you're sitting in the front seat, in the back seat, no matter how short the ride is going to be, always put on your seatbelt, because like I said, you never know when something will happen. You can't determine the behaviors and actions of others, so you want to keep yourself safe. And then lastly, also ask your passengers to buckle up also, because once they're in your car or in the car that you're driving, you're ultimately responsible for them wearing their safety belt. So you want to make sure they buckle up as well. All right, so it's time for our quiz. So it's not going to be a difficult quiz. Just try your best. Again, if some of the answers weren't in this presentation, they're just kind of just a test to see if you can figure out the answers. So I'll start. Number 1, 80% of deaths and serious injuries occur in cars that are traveling how fast? So I may not have said this directly in the presentation, but remember when I was talking about, no matter how far or how slow you're going or the distance from where you're going, you should always wear your seatbelt. So that may give you a little hint. Did you guess C? You're correct. So 80% of deaths occur in cars that are traveling under 40 miles per hour. So of course, 40 miles per hour is not fast. This can be in a residential area, somewhere, close to your home, close to other homes. And so sometimes people mistakenly think, oh, I'm not going that far. We're not going that fast. I don't need my seatbelt. But you can be killed or injured in a crash going 40 miles per hour or less. Number 2, a person's chances of being killed are X times higher if they are thrown out of the vehicle. Any guesses? 4 times. 4 times higher if they're thrown out of the vehicle. So again, this is the reason for making sure that you wear your seatbelt when you're inside the vehicle. The national seatbelt use rate in 2019, and this is among adults. So anyone have an idea of what the seatbelt use was last year? It was D, 90.7%. So not bad, but of course we want it to be 100%. And last question, true or false? The best protection against impaired or drunk drivers is wearing your seatbelt. And that answer is, of course, true. Like I said before, we cannot control what other people do. Of course, we don't want you to drink or do drugs and then drive, but we can't control other people's behaviors. And so the best protection we have against people like this is to wear our seatbelts all the time, no matter where we're going, no matter how far, no matter how slow we're driving. So I appreciate everyone tuning in for this presentation. Please be sure to check out our social media pages at Teens in the Driver's Seat on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitter. Also, please be sure to check out our website at t-driver.com. Thanks. Have a good day.